Is everybody at
Reasonable expectations.
timestamp 0 for the dead zone?
I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1, play. I mentioned this off screen, but I've seen this twice. But the second time was with a commentary, so I wasn't really watching the movie because you can't really hear any of the dialogue. I was mostly listening for the commentary. So let me ask you guys this, because Robert, I think you and I are more of the boutique collectors at this point. They get things like this. This has like 4 commentaries. Do you ever watch any of them?
I have not, and I probably never will, but I'll check out the Flanagan one at some point.
Well, and like my thing is, the Flanagan one is cool, but like the one with audio director of photography, and like there's one with a film historian. I don't care. Steven says
No,
I'm
it's cool
down
that
for
they're
Better
on there.
Watch Out. I'll be back. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. No, it's cool. They're on there. Like Texas Chainsaw, I think the beginning, the Arrow one has 6 commentaries.
That is insane for that movie.
It's one of them. I can't remember if it's the beginning or '03, but one of them
We had
has
6
6.
commentaries with every cast member, but we
Yeah.
couldn't get them all together, so we just did them separately.
Let's just spread them out. They each get their own.
So I had forgotten how this movie's structured, and when I put this in to watch my 4K, I thought for a second my either TV or disc was broken, and I had just a moment where I was panicking.
Oh, it's a title card.
Yeah.
Even though they already showed the title, but whatever. It's cool.
It's fine. Score. Let's.
By Michael Kamen.
Yeah, who I don't know super well, but did the score for Die Hard, of course. And let's see what else he did. Because he did Die Hard, Lethal Weapon. So he's done all of these like unconventional Christmas movies. He also did Brazil, which might be a Christmas movie, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
I think there's one Christmas scene in that from memory.
Okay. Well, similar to this movie, because Noah, I talked to John about this earlier, or yesterday, I think, where I was like, "Did you pick this on purpose for December?" Because I had
Yeah.
forgotten this was kind of a Christmas movie until my
Kind of.
rewatch.
There's the one scene with a Christmas tree in the background, but
Oh, it's a full sequence set at Christmas. Come on.
is it a
No,
full
and it's
sequel?
funny.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
He asked me that, and it had never occurred to me. I just picked it because this is one of the 4Ks that I've bought and have never watched. Tyler, hey guys, have you seen this before? We talked about it. We made sure to watch it all before we did this, so this isn't a blind commentary like Better Watch Out will be.
And of course, this
Also
is
cool to see Deborah Hill produce this too.
yes, this is maybe the only thing I've seen that's like not John Carpenter project.
Yeah. Yeah,
That haircut on Walken is a choice.
Yeah.
It is maybe the worst haircut I've ever seen in anything.
That is the scariest thing in this movie.
Is it worse than Courtney Cox in Scream 3?
No.
There you go.
But nothing is. So, and this isn't something I really see that much anymore, but I feel like, I don't know if you guys have this, but I feel like Walken is an actor I've seen like constantly mischaracterized as being a bad actor. Like performers kind of like Nicolas Cage
Yes.
and Keanu Reeves, where they're made fun of a lot, but they are good actors.
So
They just
it's
have a very distinct way of performing that's easy to make fun of.
so it's funny that you mentioned that because Flanagan and company on the commentary I talked about talk about that. This is kind of the movie that starts that. Because he was a huge get for this movie. He at the time he's coming off of an Academy Award winning performance in
Right.
the Deer Hunter, I think.
Yeah, the Deer Hunter.
So this is kind of the start of the Walken that everybody thinks of.
The guy who does genre pictures.
Yeah.
He's
But
very
he's
good
great in this movie. Yeah.
No, I
yeah.
I can't think of anybody else at the time that would have been better. I got lost in some of the conversation because they started going back and forth really fast. Bill Murray's name came up somewhere, and I don't know if that was for Johnny or someone else at the time. But Robert, you could fact check that. Maybe there's some evidence of that.
Well, it's funny that this character's name is Johnny Smith, like the most generic
John Smith.
name in history. He's
alter ego.
Yeah, he's great in this movie, and like no saying, especially compared to someone like Nicolas Cage, it's like they're remembered for these really over the top performances, but they have way more nuance and subtlety than they get credit for. And this movie, I think, is just such a great showcase for him, start to finish. Also, we talked over it, but it's really funny that when he's the school teacher talking about the next book they're going to read, he mentions Sleepy Hollow, and then he'll later be in Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow as the Headless Horseman.
Right.
Now, if you want to really over the top, like just pure insanity, Walken.
Awesome in that movie.
He doesn't even dialogue, but you don't care.
He just like growls at the camera.
It's amazing.
No, but him and this I don't know her name, unfortunately, though they probably showed it in the credits, but this actress, they do a good job of like showing the humanity of these roles.
Yeah, Brooke Adams, and the other thing I know her from is the 1970s Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which is great.
Oh, okay, yeah, and I've seen that, so I've seen her in something.
Okay, yes, I did find it. Stephen King wanted Bill Murray to play Johnny in this. And I think Cronenberg was correct.
I'm glad they didn't go with that. I love Bill Murray, but that's the wrong pick for this character.
I was thinking about if Flanagan were to readapt this, who would be a good pick? Hamish Linklater, the guy who plays the priest in Midnight Mass, was one I thought of. I think he'd be a good Johnny.
Yeah, I think the hardest part would just be not wanting to do the Walken thing again.
Yeah.
And Flanagan loves this movie. He said it's one of, if not like the most underrated King adaptation, and I have to agree, I think.
Yeah, it's like there have been so many King adaptations, probably 100 at this point, who knows? But it's like you have the three tiers. You have the classics like Shawshank that people remember, and then the notoriously really terrible ones that people remember. And then you got a bunch in the middle that range from like mediocre to underrated. And this is one of the really underrated ones that doesn't
and it helps
as much as it should be.
I'm not going to count the show when I say this because the show is its own thing. We've never remade this.
Right. This is the only movie.
No, if you don't know, there is a mid-2000s adaptation that's just a crime show. Procedural.
Yeah.
Which really makes sense with this material. I'm like, oh yeah, like with this
premise. No, if it didn't get canceled, I would have gone back and watched it.
So I don't know how good that show's supposed to be, but watching this movie kind of made me want to check it out just because and we'll get into it later, but I do think that this structure may lend itself better to television than film.
I thought too.
This would make a great miniseries. I think the one thing that kind of hurts this movie for me, I love this movie. I would put it in, if you asked me to do like a top 10 King adaptations, this would probably make a top 10 right now. We'll see.
Same.
The thing that hurts this is because we have to get right into the crux of it, the accident and his powers. We're not able to live with that relationship, which is the ultimate tragedy of this movie, that he kind of loses the life that he wanted. We don't really get to see that life that he wanted in this.
Yeah, I think you get just enough, but I absolutely can see where you can expand on it, or what may have been cut from the book.
Yeah. Well, and in the book, so I unfortunately didn't get a chance to finish the book, but something that I thought was interesting is it's not just a light switch when he's in the accident. He's shows signs of it as far back as childhood.
Yes, I did read that, and that there's also extra backstory for the Martin Sheen character.
And I'm fine with cutting that stuff. And I'm fine with cutting that stuff out for a movie, but that is stuff you could flesh out in a mini series.
What I think the most you get here is when he's on the roller coaster and he's got like that intense headache. I
Yeah.
at least read
Yeah.
that as at least like an early development
There's
of his powers.
there's a scene, Noah, in the beginning of the book when we switch to the politician. By the time he's like a Bible salesman, and
Oh.
he's going door to door because that book takes place maybe at the time that it was published, so like the 70s, I think. And this dog like attacks him, and he beats it to death, and it's
Oh,
horrifying.
They just go out of their way, or
No, King goes out of his way to
that-
go immediately. This guy is scum.
Fuck this guy. Yeah. No, they do in this movie too.
Yeah. Well, to quote Cronenberg, he said he got some pushback with Martin Sheen's performance. Some people thought Martin Sheen was too over the top in this movie, and Cronenberg defended him, and he was like, "No, this is just reality. Like there are just people like this."
Well, and not to get political, but this movie kind of predicted where we're at now.
Yeah, and for context, I'm talking about an interview from like 20 years ago, not
Yeah.
something recent. It's just like, yeah, these people have always existed. Oh my god, that coma cured his hair.
No, it is interesting
Better
because Flanagan and company talk about The Shining is kind of King's breakthrough into mainstream, and I think that kind of happens in both mediums because like Carrie was well received. I think this did well, but now it's like a cult film. The Shining is the movie that put King adaptations on the map, for better or worse, and it's the book that put him on the map. Whereas this story, I think, kind of goes under the radar, which is a shame because I think this is one of his best written out protagonists.
Yeah.
And John, I was going to ask you, since you're the King expert, is there any connection in this book to the Dark Tower and that whole shared universe with King?
I don't remember
funny
any in the book, but let me see.
It's funny you mentioned that though, because I read that this book does start a lot of the King tropes and expansive lore. Like Castle Rock starts with the Dead Zone,
Yeah,
and that is mentioned in this movie.
because once they mentioned Castle Rock, I was like, oh, okay, that's a thing I've heard before.
Okay. I did forget about this. There's a Wheel of Fortune section that mentions Ka, which is a big thing in the Dark Tower. So you're right, there is some of that. He's already kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, and I don't
The
know how
first
much.
thing that I think of with this is it's not the exact same thing, but it's like Christopher Walken kind of has The Shining in this movie, and I don't know if there's any like expanding on that, like connecting him to The Shining or anything in the books.
Well, I really had that with Martin Sheen's character, where it's like, oh, these guys just have The Shining. Well, whether King was doing that.
Martin Sheen has The Shining.
Yes, he mentions explicitly like having a vision, and I think that's meant to be taken literally.
Okay, I did not take that literally.
And maybe there's more of that in the book. I don't know.
And
but...
sorry, what are we talking about?
So, Greg Stilson, Martin Sheen's character, the potential future president, I read it as like, oh, he has the same power, whether it's The Shining or not, that Christopher Walken has, because he mentions having a vision about his presidency, and it's the only time in the movie. I mean, we're jumping way ahead, but when they hold hands and he gets like that vision of him nuking the world, it's like they're both seeing the same thing. Like Martin Sheen is like, "What the fuck?"
Weird.
Like
Okay.
that's at least how I read it.
That's
so
not how I.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I never had that thought, but I mean, it's possible. So something else that I found was interesting, because I did look it up just because it's been so long since I've read the book. The book Carrie exists in the book The Dead Zone.
Okay, that's weird.
Oh.
But spoilers for The Dark Tower. Stephen King is a character in The Dark Tower. They go to the real world and meet him. I think right after he had his accident. So that implies that in the Stephen King multiverse, Stephen King writes the books that we're reading, that the characters that we're reading about can then read.
How
all
is
makes
anyone
sense.
supposed to adapt this into a miniseries
Well,
or movie or anything? Yeah, he'll pull it off. I have faith.
Yeah. We talked over it. The scene did make me laugh where his parents are breaking the news to him that he's been in a coma for 5 years, and his mom's immediately like, "Boy, fuck Sarah. She left you. She doesn't give a fuck about you. She's gone.
Dude, fuck her,
She'd
am
be
I
mad.
right?
That bitch."
It's okay, you don't need her.
I do feel bad for him ultimately, not just the with what'll happen at the end, but from the beginning he loses everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like you said before, it is a tragedy.
Mhm.
And I was still able to feel that tragedy with what little like setup we had for it. I do have my issues with this movie are more structural or more not so much structural but more pacing wise, which I'll get into later.
Mhm.
Than like writing.
Yeah, it's very unconventional for a movie. It feels more like the structure of a book where you have very distinct chapters
Yes.
So
that have their own X within them.
something that's interesting about this scene is when the nurse goes to pat his head. She's patting it to make sure the sweat doesn't mix in. He's wearing this substance that's helped protect him from the fire because he's really in that scene with the fire, and that's why he looks all
Cool.
wet and sweaty and dirty. Or because he's actually in the bed that's on fire.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's
nuts.
something I didn't think about while watching it, but it's like, yeah, of course. Of course they set Christopher Walken on fire.
No, and
And
what's
that little
really
girl.
interesting, I never thought about this until now. This could be a form of The Shining because Danny will have similar powers. This is a King
Yeah.
nerd rant, I'm sorry. But King, as far as I know, has never retroactively mentioned Johnny to have The Shining. There is a kid in the Dark Tower books named Jake who they definitively come out and says he has the shine.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you about that because I didn't know if there was any like retroactive like
well, and then
reworking of that.
well, and part of what makes the Dark Tower awkward is a lot of that has to be retroactive. Like, oh, now the priest from Salem's Lot is here. The bad guy is like another face of Randall Flagg. Oh, that's another connection. Is one of the streets in the book is Flag Street, which I thought was fun.
Well, and in a lot of early King work, he just likes stories with mind powers, whether it's telekinesis or precognition, whatever. But like, yeah, this Carrie, The Shining,
No, it is
Firestarter's
something
kind of
he's
that. Like
that. Now that you mention it, that is kind of a reoccurring, and he still does that. Just a few years ago, he released a book about a evil like institute kidnapping children with powers. Draven, speaking of King, are you guys caught up on Welcome to Derry? Thoughts of her? I am not. I need to. I've heard it's getting good.
I haven't seen any of it.
Wait, Robert, you are?
Sorry.
no, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
This scene surprised me on both viewings, where I'm like, oh, we're in a different movie now.
Oh yeah. Hard cut to World War II movie.
Robert, Dead Zone and Psych crossover win.
Oh, tomorrow. Let's do it.
Because I think those
It
shows
was-
were on the same channel at the too.
Yep, USA.
What do you think would happen if Johnny from the Dead Zone read Sean from Psych's mind? What do you see?
He'd say, "You're a liar, you piece of shit. I'm gonna ruin your career."
I'm gonna expose you.
Speaking of Derry, I've mentioned this before, but if anyone doesn't know, there's so the main world of the Dark Tower is its own thing, but they cross over into our world frequently, and there is an entire section where they go to Derry after the part one of that book, but before they come back as adults, and Roland just has like a whole interaction with the Losers Club.
Interesting.
I'm really curious to see how that miniseries works out, just because I feel like you need some of that other material to inform that story.
Yeah, well, this is what in the universe, this like connected universe world that we're obsessed with, why is nobody snagging up the rights to all of King's works and just doing a proper King cinematic universe?
I think they're just too spread out. Like every studio you could think of on the planet has probably done a King adaptation at
Yeah.
some point.
Tyler, have you guys
Wow.
read the book? I have, but it's been so long that I don't remember a lot of it, and I unfortunately did not. And these two don't know how to read, so you know.
Nope. Readings for nerds.
No, I think one of my new favorite channel moments is you trying to get through that note on
Let's not talk about that.
Now that you mention it, oh yeah, because I missed this. This is a Paramount film.
Yep, Paramount Picture.
And I don't
The
know who
scene's
did
really
Carrie.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this doctor character, even though he doesn't get a whole lot of screen time.
Well, there's an interesting conversation after this where Johnny asks him, like, did you talk to your mother? And he said, no, it wasn't meant to be. Or something to that effect. Like, no, like, it's not.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be.
Right. And then later he'll arguably kind of contradict himself when they talk about the Hitler hypothetical question of if you could go back in time and kill Hitler, would you? And he's like, fuck yeah. Like, absolutely. And you're like, yeah, right on.
Well,
Well,
and
that's
what's
'cause it's Hitler?
Yeah.
well, and what's interesting is this seems like a out of left field for Cronenberg, but when you look at it thematically, this is a lot of the same stuff that he was saying with his other stuff.
I had that on my rewatch. I was getting a lot of bits and similarities from the other two movies of his that I've seen. And also thinking about this as a Flanagan 8-episode miniseries. So
Oh,
many conversations between characters like this. I can just see the monologues.
I
my
need
head,
that
or
in
I'm
my
like, oh,
life.
I could see that. Just
Okay.
it's right there.
You know what? We were all like wondering who to cast. 8-episode Amazon miniseries directed by Mike Flanagan, Matthew Lillard as Johnny Smith,
That'd be awesome.
Sure, why not?
and Mark Hamill as the Doctor.
Actually, that's good because Matthew Lillard can have those big moments, like the ice is gonna break.
Yeah.
He can do stuff like that.
Tyler is Noah the only one who hasn't seen Better Watch Out. Yes. So please, when we get there, do not spoil anything. I will ban you.
Don't fuck around. He means it. You better watch out, Tyler. Anyway.
Oh my god, your hair is different. Were you in a coma too?
Yes. Okay, so
I
let
want to
me
get back with you because you have a better haircut now.
let me ask you guys this, because I like it for the purpose of the story, but I've never known what King thinks of this character. Do you think she was right in cutting her losses after 5 years and just moving on?
I think
Well-
most people would.
I think she did what was
I-
best for her, and I think it is ultimately a good decision. But I could see some people saying, well, if you just waited like a little bit longer, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But no one should be expected to wait that long for someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those really messy, complicated situations where no one's really wrong.
Well, and especially like when this is written in the 70s, just with social expectations are so much more different, particularly for women back then, where
Mhm.
like there's a lot more peer pressure to be married like
Yeah.
before you're 40 than there is now.
Well, and they're having the conversation now of she's kind of given up her whole old life entirely. She doesn't teach anymore.
Yeah, I only have like one continuity nitpick with this movie. It's So she said her baby is 10 months old, so almost a year. And then when we get to the end of the movie, the baby doesn't look that much older, and I'm like, oh, I figured a lot more time passed. But maybe that's just me, because there's a lot of stuff that happens during Johnny's life in this movie.
Yeah, it is hard to say. Tyler, are you guys planning on doing the Gremlins on the channel? Follow-up question: what holiday movies have you been watching this year? I haven't watched any yet. I've got a few lined
Not
up,
yet,
but
I've watched a few. We don't have time for Gremlins.
we're not gonna get to Gremlins this year.
Maybe next year.
I think Austin and I have talked about Gremlins, but that was
Yeah.
before we were doing so many commentaries.
Well, and last year, you and me, John, we did our favorite Christmas horror movie ranking.
Has that only been a
Gremlins
year?
That might have been
I
2
feel like
years.
that was 2 years ago.
Because I think
It might have been when I just joined the channel. Yeah,
that was your
Yeah.
first video, I think. I was
That
gonna
was
say
the
you've
second
been with us
video.
for more than a year. We went through
That
The
was
Last of
Robert-
Us Part 2 and Alan Wake 2 together. That's more than a year.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure that was Robert's second video.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay.
His first was the 2024 end of 2024 list.
Oh, okay.
Noah knows my lore on the channel better than I do.
I
don't know what I'm
remember.
talking about.
The lore master over here.
That's because I'm the youngest here, so my brain isn't
It's true.
ridden with dementia.
Huh?
Oh,
Oh. Just a commentary where we just make random noises instead of conversation. Eh.
that would be wonderful.
Oh.
In that previous scene, though, she says that Johnny might have the gift of second sight, which, of course, is the ability to put out good Blu-ray box sets.
Heyo,
There you go.
we did it.
I'll be here all week.
Good night, everybody.
We did it.
It's all downhill from there. John, I'm just gonna read this verbatim from Wikipedia. I assume you also saw this, but like the phrase "dead zone" is kind of different from the book to the movie. So I'm just gonna read what it says here. It says in the novel, the phrase "dead zone" refers to the part of Johnny's brain that is irreparably damaged, resulting in his psychic potential awakening. When some information in Johnny's visions is beyond his perception, he considers that information as being in the dead zone. In the film, the phrase dead zone is that it's part of his psychic vision that is missing, a blank area that he can't see. So the dead zone here is like this outcome that's not yet determined, which leads to him changing the future. So I just thought that was interesting that like the title of the book
Got
for being a pretty
multiple
faithful
meanings.
adaptation. For being a pretty faithful adaptation, as far as I know, they were like, let's explain that differently. Because why not?
Well, it's weird because it's different, but I think you get to the same conclusion, which is
Yeah,
something I appreciate about that. Noah, I'm sorry. I have to bring this up. This is the difference between this movie and The Shining, where we take a different path to get to the same result, and it's still the same character and the same story. Whereas The Shining, which is a good movie, I reiterate, a good movie, but a bad adaptation in that it changes fundamental characterizations and plot points to get to a completely different ending. That we only kind of get the actual ending of the book in the decades later sequel, which is half The Shining, half Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, they're just different approaches.
Yeah.
I'd like to read the original book of this though, just to see how it compares.
Finish The
I
Shining,
don't
you
know if
fraud.
you guys had this though, and I gotta finish The Shining. I don't know if you guys had this with this scene. This entire time when this reporter's like going at him, I'm like, all right, I can't wait for him to get his comeuppance. And then Johnny does this to him, and I'm like, oh shit, damn, you didn't have to go that far, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler is correcting you, Noah. It was 2023, not 2024.
Whatever.
Robert's been on the channel for 2 years.
Wait. No,
Yeah,
what Noah said is correct.
No, well,
No,
you
your
guys
first video
did the
couldn't
end
have
of
been the
the year
2024
best
video.
and worst for 2023.
Okay, well, maybe you misspoke, but like Noah, you were right because that Christmas one was December 2023, which would have been after the best. So I think you just misspoke.
Probably.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
he
even
said
know.
your first video was the best Norse of 2024. It
Okay,
would have
yeah,
been a
he
Yeah,
just
best.
I
misspoke.
meant to.
But
I meant to say 2023.
Yeah.
Oops.
What some lore master you are.
I know.
back to this movie. I had forgotten how quickly he becomes kind of a public figure, or people just know about his ability. Obviously, you have the skeptics and the believers, but that's a really interesting spin on the story where the whole movie isn't him trying, because typically when you see this narrative, it's a character trying to prove to people that he has this power and that he's not a bullshitter. And this movie, or the story, goes another direction where it's like, oh no, this is just like known, it's out there, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want the celebrity and attention that comes from this, and it makes his life so much worse.
Well, something that I find interesting, and I would love to hear Cap's thoughts on this. In a way,
Mhm.
it's kind of a superhero movie in that
I
he
was gonna bring
works
that
for
up.
the
Yeah.
police, and that is in the book. Like the whole that killer that they're chasing, that is part of the book. Um, which is why I think they went, oh, let's make a procedural out of this in the early 2000s.
Yeah, and here there is a very traditional hero's journey slash tragedy. Like in this scene coming up, we have the he resists the call, and then he comes around later, and then at the end of the story, that's it. He's
And
done.
Tyler
And that's all
asks,
the stuff that I really latched onto in this movie, and specifically the procedural, uh, making people's and making that kid's life better,
King
stuff.
King has to be at least somewhat of a superhero fan. There is
Well,
too much
he
of
likes
that
comics.
DNA in his work.
I'd say that's a safe bet.
I mean,
Uh,
Carrie is like if the Peter Parker that goes fucking nuts.
yeah,
And just
there
kills
was. I don't
everybody.
know if you remember this, but there was a show on Netflix a few years ago, and it had the new Beverly from the It movies, the kid one.
Mhm.
I can't
Yeah.
remember what it was called, but the basic setup was just Carrie, and it was really good. And it got canceled after one season. I was pissed.
Oh man, all the cool shows you get into get canceled so quickly.
No, it's kind of a pattern, but it's been easier lately. I keep telling myself I'm not going to get invested in any more Netflix shows because I just don't trust them to end it. And then
So
they'll
it's
announce
something
something. I'm
last.
like, fuck.
Yeah, damn it.
So Tyler asked if this would be in top 5 King adaptations.
Probably not
Probably.
top 5, but top
I
10 for sure.
I would have to make a list myself, but for right now, I'm gonna say no. And I do really like this movie, but I wasn't in love with it, and there's some stuff that holds it back for me.
I no, I'd have to really think about it, but I don't think so. But I could see for me putting it easily at like number 6.
Hmm.
Um, this might sound crazy, but I would put it chapter 1 just as an adaptation over this. And I think that's just
Okay.
because I think that is more. I like that story more. At the end of the day,
I think I might agree with you.
now
But I have
chapter
to
2 is a whole different thing, but that's because
Yeah,
it's adapting the
chapter
worst
two.
part of that book.
Yeah, no, chapter one's really solid though.
Oh, the show was called "I Am Not Okay with This." That was the name of it.
Oh, okay.
And the series follows the story of an emotionally turbulent girl who discovers that she has psychokinesis. It was just Carrie. We're doing that a lot lately because now we're getting Cujo, but with a monkey.
That's the most bizarre one. Like why?
And
why
I don't
is
know if you
that?
guys saw, but Stephen King is in that.
Oh, he is.
He has He's confirmed to have a cameo.
That's really funny.
I missed my monkey. I must be in other monkey movie.
here we have Tom Skerritt from Alien, by the way.
And Top Gun.
Oh.
Those are the only things I know.
So this sheriff character, by not the actor but the actual character, is in other King works. So this is something that could kind of potentially branch this to other movies. But I have sad news: his character gets eaten by Cujo.
No. Well, if you had to get eaten by any King character, Cujo's probably the most likely.
So
But
next
no,
time we
you
watch this,
mentioned
do a double feature with Cujo.
you mentioned Castle Rock earlier. I don't know if you've know this, but that and Shawshank Prison are two of the most reoccurring things in King works.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And my hot take of the day is I love Shawshank. I need to watch it again, but I think Green Mile is better.
And I still need to see Green Mile.
Oh, so good.
I love Shawshank, though.
I bought that 4K and I still haven't watched it, if you can't believe it.
So, and John, I just checked, and yeah, the sheriff character is also in the Cujo movie, played by a different actor, of course. But
I haven't seen that movie in like
I know.
15 years. That movie's kind of dull.
I need to see it.
The
we
problem
talked
with
over the Christmas tree scene.
Oh. The problem with
Oh, yeah.
Cujo
Merry
is that
Christmas,
it's just
everybody.
really just two characters stuck in a car for.
I mean, that's really scary, but yeah, a whole movie.
Well, and they add like a subplot with her husband as an insurance salesman or something, and it's just.
Yeah, I still have to watch
Yeah.
Cujo.
Now,
But I'll watch the
son,
monkey one first.
Oh. I think
Now,
that monkey
son.
one looks really bad.
with great power comes great responsibility. Something like that.
Dad. Yeah, not
Missed
Uncle
opportunity. The actor playing his dad should be doing a Walken impression.
Dad. Yeah. Like in Batman Returns, his son does a Walken impression.
How old is Christopher Walken in this movie? Because he both looks young and old at like the same time.
Probably like
He's in his
mid-30s.
30s.
Wow.
Okay, he's just about to turn 40
Oh, okay.
when he does this
Okay.
movie. Which kind of fits for the character, though, because like
Yeah.
he's in a coma for 5 years. So he's like a 30-something-year-old guy, and then he just loses those 5 years. That's
Something
it.
else that I really like about the Visions is there is a physical toll that it takes on him throughout the movie.
Mhm.
I also love his jacket with the
Yes.
Yeah, so I was gonna say to your superhero point earlier, that's his costume
yeah.
with the collars up. That he looks like Doctor Strange.
Christopher Walken as Doctor Strange would be beautiful.
That would be peak.
And then when they
That's
said
an interesting
miss.
That's an interesting
Oh,
miss. Because the Shining movie hasn't come out yet. Or no, sorry. I keep thinking this is a 70s movie. This is 83. The Shining movie has come out. Sorry. That's me forgetting my timeline. That's funny.
And it's not Danny, it's Denny.
Yeah.
I know, and I was like, oh no, it's Denny from the room.
It's the first thing I thought of, unfortunately.
Oh.
Because Denny isn't a very common name.
And I don't know if that is what it is in the book. I can't remember. It'd be kind of funny if they changed it just to have that Danny slip up.
Right.
Remember The Shining?
I remember.
And coincidentally, this comes out the same year as John Carpenter's Christine. I think it's interesting that with some of these early King adaptations, you have like very director-driven takes on the material with De Palma's Carrie and then Kubrick's The Shining, this, Christine, and then in later years, it's like, no, the Stephen King name is what sells it and is what's on the poster. Like, you do kind of a shift to more director, like workman directors getting King adaptations.
Until the 90s. Because by the 90s, you get Darabont.
Yeah, but you also have the miniseries, which are very like Stephen King's writing those. Like it's
Um, yeah, and then they kind of go away in the 2000s, and then we kind of come back with it, which I don't want to say is like obviously it's not director driven because that director isn't what I'm gonna call like an auteur or anything, but it doesn't feel like it's being sold just on King. It's being sold on it. Like we're making a proper scary down it movie.
okay. I have questions about this scene. He brings
Okay.
out the high chair, and the dad's like, "I made this for Johnny the night he was born," and I was like, "So you weren't with your wife while she was in labor?" Like, no, I gotta make the chair. It's like, you had like 8 months to do that. You procrastinator.
Did he say it was him or someone else?
No, he said I made it the night he was born.
We just talked over it, so I can't.
Well, okay, in his I mean, I'm not a history expert, but say Johnny is 40 years old and this takes place. Do they ever give a specific date, or is just the assumption it takes place when it comes out?
83,
It's yeah. You see a picture of Reagan on the
so
wall.
It's the
later,
80s.
So
So that would have been the 40s. I could see a man at that time spending his time doing something else than sitting in a hospital waiting room.
It just made me laugh.
Yeah. Well, and that is something that I think King goes back to the well a lot, is just shitty parents, broken families. This is probably the healthiest Stephen King family.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be a shitty parent.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, even a good parent can do shitty things. Like I don't think it's out there to say abandoning your wife to go build a crib while she's in labor is kind of a shitty thing to do.
But also the image of him working on a chair in the hospital room while she's giving birth is really funny to me.
So, back to this love story. Do you guys think it makes her look too unlikable or indecisive that she cheats on her husband to sleep with Johnny, but then is just gonna go back to her husband?
It's I mean it's not great morally, but it's understandable. I don't find her unlikable because
I think I never find her unlikable. I think actually having her sleep with him might be too far. But I could see them, with the kissing and like she never got closure and she needs that closure to move on. But I don't know if having them actually go all the way to having sex is the closure that she needs. But I like that it continues to be that messy, like, I don't know what the right answer is at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also plays into that superhero formula where the night she again leaves him and says, "No, this isn't happening," is when he goes, "Okay, fine, I'm going to do the detective thing and try to catch a serial killer." Again, it has that superhero formula baked into it.
No, I was thinking, I'm glad John brought that up because I was thinking about that the entire time, like from this point on. Like, oh, this is just a superhero movie.
But also, I think the way they're playing that scene, or at least how she's rationalizing it, is I think she tries to be as upfront as she can be. That like, no, this isn't happening. I'm not gonna leave my husband for you. But her sleeping with him is more just, here's something we never got to share together, and I regret that. And like, let's do this one time. And again, morally, still maybe bad. I don't necessarily condone it, but I think that's the way the characters rationalize it, is she's.
Yeah, and I'm also fine with it in something like this that isn't treating it as CW drama. It's honest to God character drama and morally complex characters and troubled characters. Not, I'm dating you, but I actually want this guy, so I'm going to go sleep with this guy. But you can't be mad at me because I didn't do anything wrong. Like, that kind of bullshit.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was reading some of the changes in the 2000s TV series. One of them being the son is actually Johnny's son.
Of course.
And she got pregnant right before he went into the coma. And of course, she's raising Johnny's son with her husband. Also, her husband and the sheriff character are combined into one.
Of course.
So that's like typical TV drama of that era, but whatever.
Well, something like that, because you're gonna drag it out, and your protagonist, spoilers, isn't gonna die at the end. I expect something like that. Because I assume at some point the end goal was they were gonna get back together.
Probably, and I know the show ends on a cliffhanger because it was
Yeah.
canceled, so that blows. But apparently, at some point, I think in season 2, they did do something clever where they did the ending of the book or this story as like a vision, as like an alternate reality.
Okay.
So it's cool that they threw that in there as a reference. Like, yeah, obviously, we're not going to kill our
Right.
protagonist in this network television show, but we're going to reference it.
Yeah.
It's like a what if scenario.
The,
That's fun.
That is such a bizarre thing to me still. And it's funny because we've done that again now, because Lucifer is kind of that, where we're just taking a character from a comic and turning it into a procedural. Because obviously that is based on the Neil Gaiman Lucifer. But really they just took the name and slapped it onto a procedural show. Which is a good procedural. Don't get me wrong. But
by the way, in this scene, I love how it's lit with the tunnel.
oh,
Yes,
dude, you gotta watch the
gorgeous.
Flanagan commentary. They go nuts for this scene, especially that
It
one
looks so
shot.
cool.
Especially that
It's our
one
background
shot
on YouTube.
that is the background. Like they are in love with that shot. They call it the best shot in the movie.
I mean, yeah, it looks awesome, and it looks so cold there.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and Noah, I was giving you grief earlier when you're like, I don't know, there's like a Christmas tree in one scene.
Yeah.
Because Christmas, but it's like this whole chapter of the movie is Christmas
What's-
time. You know, it's
Well,
a
the whole
very
movie is very
winter.
wintry,
Yeah.
but that's the only explicitly Christmas thing I think
Mm.
in the movie.
Yeah. No, it's a gray area, but fuck it, I'll consider this a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather watch this than Hallmark Christmas movie. I don't know.
Oh God, I would hope so.
I couldn't think of anything. That's the thing is because I don't hate a lot of Christmas movies, but whatever.
So I will say, I maybe this works better in the book. The resolution to this plot line is a little easy, or it just happens a lot quicker than you're expecting. It's like, oh, who's the
Yeah.
killer? Oh, it's that guy. Okay,
As
that's
that
convenient.
cop over there.
And from memory, I think that is dragged out longer in the book, but
That
I
makes
could be
sense.
wrong. I do know that he changes the ending because the whole thing with the scissors, that is movie only, which that's Cronenberg. He's still got to slip a little
Yes.
bit of that body
The gore.
horror. Which
Yeah.
okay, this isn't me complaining, but I'm curious. Did that guys feel out? Did that feel to you guys like it was out of place in this movie? Because that's like the only
No.
like really
fine with
bloody. Okay.
No, yeah, because like I was saying before, I wasn't like shocked that this wasn't a body horror movie because I know he doesn't only do that kind of movie, but the like violence and gory stuff that is in the movie really hits.
Yeah.
Yes. And with Cronenberg, like it's not just body horror; it's just it's visual effects in general. We just saw that in
Mhm.
Videodrome, you know. And there are some big, like the World War II flashback, the scene with the fire. Like there are moments of like effects heavy sequences that I can see being appealing to him. But then you
Yeah.
also have coming up like a couple moments of like shocking violence that are right up his alley. Because this is not like a hard R movie. There's not excessive language, but then you have a couple scenes here with both nudity and violence. They're like, oh my god.
Yeah, where you're like, whoa. It's shocking when those things happen. Um, I don't know how true this is, because my source is the internet, but I heard for a lot of these visions when Walken's like getting jolted back when he's got the visions, that Cronenberg like fired a gun offset to
Oh,
get him to
interesting.
react like that. So he went to the William Friedkin School of Directing Actors.
I thought you were gonna say something goofier, like the other actors would have like joy buzzers on their hands to shock him.
That'd be funny. That'd be shocking.
Positive shocking. So I don't think the structure of this movie bothered me as much as it bothered Noah. For me, it was more just, oh, that's interesting. I do remember the first time watching this movie, when you get to the action sequence with the killer coming up, it did throw me off. Where I was like, "Are we at the climax?" Because it feels like we're at the end of the movie, and then you look at the timestamp, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're not even 50 minutes in, but it feels like we're wrapping
Well,
up, and then there's a whole other movie after it.
I kind of half expected the movie to pick up that procedural baton and just continue with it. Like I thought he was going to be solving more crimes after this. I like the stuff with the kid that we get later, and we'll get into it a bit. I think honestly the weakest stuff for me is the Martin Sheen stuff.
Oh,
Really, I think that stuff's all fascinating.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it.
it is the most over the top this movie goes. I'll give you that, but I still like it.
Walken plays this scene really well. He's freaking out. He's freaking out.
Well, another thing I wanted to say about Cronenberg's direction, that now that I've seen a few of his films, I have more of a grasp on, is he directs movies like a stage play. I feel like he has very stage play sensibilities, not theatrical, not over the top, but it some of these conversations just feel like you're watching it like a stage play, like it's very subdued, but they go big when they need to go big. Like this isn't a top to bottom over the top Walken performance. He goes big when he needs to, like you'd expect in a play. Those moments hit right, but to almost juxtapose that, Cronenberg also likes these really big bombastic scores. With this, The Fly. So I'm just picking up on more patterns and just kind of his approach and sensibilities and how he tells these stories that I think really works.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. Yeah, because I guess I wouldn't use the phrase over the top, but it is like Walken does get very theatrical in this movie, and you also see that kind of sensibility in The Fly. There's a few different moments in this movie that reminded me of The Fly, which I'll point out later.
Yeah, and back to the thematic stuff, just to jump to the end. It's like, oh, like The Fly, you have a protagonist with terminal illness, you have a doomed love story. Like, those things are similar. And that's the other thing that really stood out of, oh, you could expand this so much more into a miniseries that I'm sure the other TV version just drops entirely. There's like one or two lines in this film that imply like, oh, he has a brain tumor or something. Like he doesn't have much time left. Like there are like one or two moments that hint at that like, oh, he probably doesn't have long to live, and you can really flesh that out in a miniseries.
I think my biggest takeaway from this is it left me wanting the Mike Flanagan miniseries version of this. As good as this is for what it is, but I want some of these stories fleshed out more. You know, the whole time. Yeah, like you said earlier, this just feels like the climax to a movie.
So it's interesting that you mentioned that because I googled it to make sure. In the book, it is clear that it's a tumor that is doing this.
Okay.
So then, no, he wouldn't have the Shining because it's not a power that he's born with.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how that makes sense with the opening of the book, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you said when he's a kid.
Because it hints that he has, unless the idea is just he has like a really weak connection, and then the tumor is what pushes it to the forefront.
Yeah, and they talk a little in this movie later about, oh, your power's getting stronger, but your body's getting weaker. So we have that conversation, but I don't think they mention a tumor specifically.
It's not the tumor. Sorry.
Yeah, this scene is so gross.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think in the book he just like strangles himself or something. I think this is better for like a visual medium. We've got Kim in the chat. Welcome back, guys. Hey, thanks. We're doing pretty good. He says, hope you're doing well. How you doing?
And then what do you guys think of the mom pulling out the gun? I didn't see that coming.
Just gotta protect her son.
The whole time,
And there was something funny about how he's like, oh man, I did the right thing and I got shot for it. And then he goes right back to his isolation.
Yep.
And and for me again, the structure isn't, for me it's not a negative. It's just different. Like you have, it's just structured more like a novel where you have very distinct chapters. You have the chapter of him
Yeah.
and the accident and getting the power and figuring that out. You have this chapter. The next chapter is going to be with him and the kid, and then the last chapter is the
Is the president or
the
the
president. Yeah.
senator, whatever stuff. Um, yeah, and that's not even necessarily like a negative for me because I think it's more so my preference because for what this movie is, it's the best version of what it can be. I just think I would
Mhm.
prefer having that time to flush out those details more.
Yeah. What I like about it is that we're always with Walken. We're always with this
Except for one
character.
scene.
Sure.
There is a scene later on where we're only with Sheen's character. It's very weird, but it's
It
necessary.
is.
I think
That's
it's
why
kind
it
of
stood out to
buckling
me.
under the. It's kind of buckling under the narrative. If we need this scene, but how do we involve Walken?
Ouch!
Blood
I got
squids.
shot.
I really wish the Bond theme played there.
Da-na, da-na, na-na-na. Oh my god, Christopher Walken played a Bond villain
He did.
in one of the worst Bond movies.
Oh, it's true.
It is true.
Yeah, and I think there's like one line earlier that mentions Ellison before
Yeah, it's the
this.
reporter.
Okay.
In
Yeah,
that
yeah,
scene.
yeah, yeah. You're right. So I don't know if that's in the book or not, but it does feel like okay, we should probably mention this guy somewhere in the first half of this movie to say we set it up.
Yeah, I feel like it was set up well enough.
Also, yeah, we didn't talk about it. Everyone in that room just looks like an asshole. They're like, "What? You don't know who's running for president? You fucking idiot!" He's like, "It's been a coma for 5 years. Like, what's wrong with you people?"
I also like how Walken lives in this big mansion now.
Yeah,
This is kind of like his superhero lair. This is kind of like his home
yeah.
base.
Well, they at least do say that his dad's still taking care of him. Is in contact with him. Although I did have a question about this because this is very much a movie trope. So in the opening scene, Johnny has glasses. I don't know if he has glasses or not in the book. And then post
Oh
coma,
yeah,
he will never wear glasses again. I'm like, is that how comas work? Do they cure your
that's just
eyesight? Do you just not need glasses anymore?
no.
Wait,
He
wait.
never needed the glasses, Robert. That was just him in teacher mode. That was him looking
You're
professorial.
saying that Johnny never wears glasses after the coma?
I don't think so.
He wore them in that one scene when the woman showed up. When I was asking how old he is, he's wearing glasses.
Okay, so maybe he just needs like reading
Have
glasses.
you seen the movie?
Why don't you
But
remember
he's
every
wearing them
detail?
regularly
Yeah,
in the opening.
it's not a tumor.
Although in the opening, that is just when he's reading the passage from that book.
No, it's also when he's on his date
Is it?
in the car. I'm pretty sure he has his glasses during all
Oh,
that.
okay. I thought he took them
It's
off.
like, my glasses broke. They just
I
never got
love
around to
I love the
replacing.
idea that psychic visions heal your actual vision.
I like to
He's
think
got
so.
second sight now, John. He can't. He doesn't use it.
Oh,
Or he's just a lazy bastard. He's like, I'm not working anymore. Yeah, I don't need them.
I'm not gonna read anymore. Are these your drawings in the background, by the way?
It's the best I can do without my glasses.
I've never been a good artist.
Yeah, I think this is our only conversation about like, oh, you're probably gonna die soon, and I could just picture
Yeah.
the Mike Flanagan monologue version of this scene that goes on for like 10 minutes.
I need it. I need it. Yeah, because I was thinking about it might be cool to see this as a procedural again, but I think I would prefer just the mini series version of the book.
That's what I'd want. Yeah.
If we were to adapt this again, that's what I
No,
would
we'll do another procedural.
Yeah, and my understanding of the book is that there are one or two instances, like with his powers and predictions, that are cut from the movie that you could put back in, where it really feels like when they made the movie, they're like, okay, we just need to do the best sequences and the best moments, like that they had to pick and choose.
When it doesn't even really necessarily have to be like a traditional procedural, because he's doing stuff with this family and the kid in this movie, so it could be stuff like he just helps someone, he just solves someone's problem. Could be like stuff like that. I don't know if the 2000 show did any episodes like that.
That'll be our next TV commentaries. We'll do all, I don't know, 4 or 5 seasons of that.
I didn't know it
I think
lasted
6.
for that long. Damn.
Yeah.
I was kind of curious to check into that out, but I don't
Oh,
want to watch
now he's
5
like,
seasons.
no.
He's got glasses again. We got glasses.
Oh, okay.
So
we got
this
glasses
is
here.
this is one thing I know they changed because the commentary talks about it. In the book, it's a high schooler that he's tutoring, and they make him younger here. And I think that has to do with, doesn't he have like a vision about this girl?
It's gonna be the boy
Yeah.
that he sees
Yeah,
dying.
that's the ice is gonna break.
Oh, and speaking of Bond, here we have one of the villains from License to Kill. Love this guy.
Okay, so right here.
Yeah.
He shakes this guy's hand. Nothing happens.
Oh, your CinemaSins ding over there, Noah.
God damn it,
I'm
Noah.
just asking questions here. I'm just asking questions. What do you think happens?
Maybe the movie doesn't make this clear enough. I do get the sense that the visions don't happen 100% of the time every time he touches someone. Like, they do seem more random than that. Maybe the movie doesn't make it clear enough, but like, I mean, when him and Sarah were sleeping together, was he is he seeing anything?
Well,
I'm
I
asking
think
questions.
I also think, at least from memory, and in the movie especially, it seems to be only if there's like,
if you touch hands.
well, if you touch hands and if something bad is gonna happen,
Okay.
Or has happened.
or has
Because he
happened.
gets visions of the past too. But it does feel like, again, something you'd make more explicit in a miniseries like we do with Theo and Haunting of Hill
Yes.
House, where she has her thing with the gloves.
And I wonder if that is looking at this, because I know there's some of that is implied in the original book, but
yeah, but they amp that way up in the miniseries.
So basically, he only gets visions when it's convenient for the plot.
yes.
Okay.
Why do you hate this movie? Shut.
Fuck
This
movie.
is Silent Night, Deadly Night all over again. It's not that deep.
No, I like this is a better movie than Silent Night.
That's not that.
That
might
is
not be
objectively
true.
true.
Oh,
I've been debating, by the way, going to see the remake of that.
No, I might check it out.
I need to know
but I'm
what's
also
up with
a little
that scene they
curious.
released with him fighting
I'm-
Nazis.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
didn't see that.
I'm trying to not watch anything.
Well,
in
It's a
advance.
widely released
Well-
clip. It's not like I spoiled the movie.
Yeah.
You just ruined the ending.
Is that the end? Dude, that would be hilarious if that's what they released, just the ending.
If it was just Inglorious Bastards, right at the end. Corey Cunningham kills Hitler.
That's how he saved Christmas.
So I must have been looking down when his name showed up in the opening credits, but I was legitimately surprised to see Martin Sheen in this.
Oh,
I
okay.
looked up and I was Martin Sheen jump scared right here. I was like, "Whoa, what are you
This
doing here?"
is probably the third thing that I've seen him in.
Well,
Uh,
this is the prequel to The West Wing.
I was gonna say,
the first thing I ever see, more because it's a voice role, but he is one of the villains in the Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh, cool.
okay,
Now this scene they do make a point in showing though that like he doesn't shake his hand because he slaps the
Buttons, yeah,
button.
yeah. No, one thing, I get why you would cut some of the backstory with him, but it does feel just kind of random now. Oh, now we're focusing on this. I kind of wish we had been able to maybe like sew him into the narrative earlier.
Yeah, it's just a couple mentions.
yeah, I think that's part of my issue with it too. Is it technically doesn't come out of nowhere because it is set up, but it feels like, well, here he is now, and we're
I
gonna
think
make a
I
big
think it
deal.
works though in the nature of the visions in this story, where he does finally our protagonist finally gets one that's like, oh holy shit, this is way bigger than anything I've had to deal with before.
Yeah,
And I like the climax a lot. Like I think the ending works.
I like the ending, but well, we'll get to it.
Why do you have your Hot Wheels track on your desk?
Isn't that kind of a distraction from your homework?
They fall on the floor. What are you doing?
What are you doing? This kid's room is huge. It's like Jesus.
Well, he's rich.
Oh,
Oh, this is actually the prequel to Richie Rich.
I like your haircut.
I used to have that haircut when I was younger, full of more energy.
And I do like this chapter a lot. It's a bit lighter and takes a
Yeah,
darker turn, but it also gives him something different to do.
I like it. I like this idea and theory of him bonding with this kid, but I also, it's another case of, well, it just, we don't have enough time devoted to it.
it feels like Cronenberg wants to make a miniseries, but that isn't really a thing at the time, as far as I know.
Yeah. It is, but typically for like big, like prestige TV events. Not really. I can't think of a lot of genre stuff. Like, I mean, I guess you had Salem's Lot, but even
That's not really a
that's like
miniseries. That's just a TV
that's
movie.
a 3-hour movie in 2 parts. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Wasn't that the same with it,
yeah.
which is considered a miniseries? A miniseries.
Is that only two parts?
I think so.
What even is this?
Okay, so yes, that is a two-part.
Yeah, a two-part television event. Yes, I don't agree with critics at the time that say that he's over the top. This he talks exactly like
Yeah.
how I've seen politicians talk.
Okay, so you're right. Sorry, Salem's Lot is also considered a miniseries. For some reason, I thought that was considered a movie, but because I think it
No.
is longer.
Yeah.
Probably. This guy is dangerous. And I think they say later that this guy is a third party, which is
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, they don't have him on fall on one particular side. He's just kind of like evil politician man.
Token Walken laugh.
Sounds real threatening, but okay.
Well, why'd we stop the movie for this? Is this gonna go somewhere?
Feels like the movie is slammed to a screeching halt, but okay. Yeah, no, I think he gives a pretty good performance in this. But so here's the one scene where we're not in Walken's POV.
Yes.
And have we seen this guy before?
Yeah, no,
But
yeah.
that really
So
threw me off.
last night when I watched this, I'm like, oh, it's that. Oh no, wait, who is this guy? Because
Oh.
I think I've seen this actor in a few things before, so I assumed, oh, okay, this was a character introduced before. But no, we don't know who this guy is. But you know, this is where we get the idea that he's not a good guy, this Greg Stilson. He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, this is the scene where he says he's had a vision, which I'm taking literally. That doesn't mean I'm right. That's just my interpretation.
I mean, it could be.
In my defense, this is a movie with a protagonist who has visions.
No.
But that is the world.
Yeah.
No. No.
No, that leads, you know, some credence to that idea. It's just that's really the only hint of it we get. So I'm just not sure if it's
well, and my read on it is, oh, like that's how, because he's not even running for president yet. He's running for state senate, and like my read on it is like, oh, that's how he knows how to rise through the ranks, is he has this power. And yeah. That's how he maybe knows how this guy's having an affair. Obviously, he needs his buddy to take the photos and have proof for the extortion here. But it's like that's at least my interpretation of it.
It could also be that he's very powerful, so he's got the resources to get this blackmail, and he's very ambitious. He eventually wants to be president, which is his vision. I think that's an interesting idea.
What I'm saying is this is the plot of Madam Web done well.
That's correct.
No, I mean, that's an interesting idea. Kind of wish...
No, because the main thing that I would...
should be a miniseries so we can have more hints to that.
The main thing that I would keep, if you do it as a miniseries, is all the backstory stuff with this character as a parallel between him and Johnny.
Yeah, it would be interesting to jump back and forth.
And then to watch people freak out when he kicks a dog to death.
Yeah.
I mean, valid. I'd freak out.
He didn't really kill the damn thing. It's a fucking TV show.
Well, you can kill all the people you want, but you don't kill the pet. It makes people upset.
Exactly.
People are dumb.
John hates animals, confirmed.
No, I could separate reality from fiction.
This is a documentary we're watching, dude.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize Christopher Walken died in 1983.
Or that he had psychic powers.
That wasn't even a stunt, just he decided to assassinate Martin Sheen.
They did nothing, but they filmed it.
Yeah. No, I've had that argument with friends before where they were like, movies and TV shows shouldn't show animals cruelty. I'm like, yes, because that never happens in real life.
Oh no, I'm not for them not doing that in the future, but that is something that I'm easily emotionally manipulated when animals die in movies.
You're weak.
That works on me.
Robert can attest to this. I laughed while I was killing the dogs in The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, and that's not.
I'm gonna leave this call, dude.
Oh. I too get sad over things that aren't real.
I mean, we're talking about art here. Like, if it doesn't make you feel anything, then why are you doing this?
No, I don't know. Like, ideas get me more than just seeing a fictional animal killed.
It's a case by case basis.
And I'm not really saying that you guys are dumb for that. I'm just giving you a hard time. Dear God.
Yeah.
Robert's outraged.
I didn't bring the subject up. This is kind of a convenient movie thing where, of course, the scene where he's like, "Will I ever see her again?" Oh shit, there she is.
I like when we play that for comedy where it's like, oh, sure, you know, X or Y is just going to fall out of the sky and then they land like right next to them.
But I like it. I like that the love story is the pillar of this movie.
Yeah.
You know, it all revolves around this.
I've at this point already, I feel bad for Johnny because he's just kind of become a recluse.
Yeah, and that's the angle I find most fascinating is having a character with this power who doesn't want it, doesn't want the attention. He has all those letters stacked up from people wanting his help, and he's just like, I can't. I don't want this. Get away from me.
I don't like it, and it stinks.
It would be funny if he was like, Sarah, this is my son. This is what you could have had.
I've adopted this boy. I'm gonna teach him to read.
No, he was born since they last saw each other. He just grows really fast.
No.
He's taken a super soldier serum, which made him grow faster. Anyway, how's Denny doing?
Yeah. But bringing her back here does set up a pretty notable change in the climax that I think makes sense for a movie.
Yeah.
Mr. Walken, are you okay?
He's so sad.
Oh god, don't hug the child.
He just whispers, "The ice is gonna break."
You're gonna fucking die.
Oh, he's freaking out.
Finds out.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're also not consistent if it needs to be like
Yeah, 'cause
skin
he's
to
just
skin contact.
touching his shoulders.
That's why I think it's more if there's something like if there's some tragedy that's gonna happen or has happened.
Yeah, and again, the movie could make that more clear, but I think it is. I think John's right. It is to be just random or tied to that specific.
Yeah.
It's not like every single time he touches a person, he just
He just
gets
touches his
abused.
ex and sees her having sex with her husband.
No.
No, get away from me.
But I like that it's in. It's like it's uneven if it's a tumor, just because tumors, radically alter your whole brain or whatever, and it's never consistent. And I think that's consistent with that.
Ask John Kramer.
No, because then they want to play a game. I don't like that.
And
Hello,
this
Johnny
is
Smith.
everybody's favorite scene.
Like that he opens with that before explaining what he saw. You want to kill your own son? There it is.
I think Walken improvised that. I think he just smashed a priceless antique vase.
Okay. This is a Stephen King dad. Somebody with a proven track record of these visions tells you that the ice is gonna break, and he's like, no.
He's stubborn.
No, and my favorite thing is somebody did just take that scene and put it on YouTube, so you could just watch that scene. The ice is gonna break.
I think one of my favorite parts about this scene is how he's immediately like, I'm sorry about the vase.
Well,
I didn't
and
mean to do that.
which is consistent with, I mean, admittedly, some of this is just movies that I've seen, is consistent with like brain tumors, where you get wild mood swings. And
Yeah.
he's dying, Doc.
Well, of course he doesn't want the kid to die. So.
And that kid was never in another movie again.
Oh.
I don't actually know, but
So then when he touches them again, he can't see the vision anymore, so that's how he knows that he's prevented it from happening. But then I did get a bit worried here when he's like, "Oh, come on, let's go out." I was like, "Oh no."
no, wait. So I might not have been too far off because that kid doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
I don't know.
And when you Google his name, it just takes you to that scene.
Oh.
His name is Simon Craig.
Hope he's all right.
He was in something called The Littlest Hobo. And the last thing that he was in was Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, a TV show from 1993 for one episode.
Is that David Carradine show?
I
hope so.
Yes.
I knew it.
And he's just credited as Youth.
The Ute. Wait, so did the dad still go with other random kids, but not his son?
Yes.
Correct.
That's strange.
Oh.
Reveal here that the son's still alive.
So, Christopher Walken's love interest is married to Tony Shalhoub in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah. You know, I've never seen that show.
Another detective. She has
Another procedural. Oh my god, what if Johnny teamed up with Monk?
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Cause Monk has OCD, and Johnny can read people's minds by touching them. So
Well, and
I think that was
she's
a USA show too. They could have done that
she's
yeah,
she's in Monk as
Oh, nice.
like 4 different characters.
crossover.
Oh no, wait, sorry. Okay. 1, 2 as 3 different characters, but then she plays one character twice, but they list it out individually for some reason.
oh weird.
Noah, are you a Monk fan?
I'm not a Monk fan. I've never seen it.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's a good premise for a show.
No, I actually wouldn't mind watching it if it has like a good ending.
Yeah.
Because Robert finally got me to watch Psych, and I had issues with it, but I liked it.
I like what I've seen of Psych, but it's been forever since I've watched it.
Yeah.
That's another just show with it's a procedural, but it's
Oh, no,
creative
sorry.
premise.
She does play 4 characters because she came back for one of the movies to play another character.
Oh.
I just love that there's this one actress
That's
that's
great.
played like half of the one-off characters in the show.
That's
He
nepotism
plays-
for you.
Woman number 1,
Yeah.
woman number 2.
And Beth. Her movie character is just Beth.
And Monk's wife, probably. I don't know.
I don't know. Does he get married in that?
Probably not.
So I always assumed if they did
Wait,
that, it's
Monk?
probably to one of the reoccurring. What?
What are we talking about?
Monk.
Monk.
Well, isn't the setup of that show that his wife is dead?
Oh,
I
is
don't.
it?
I don't know. You're more likely to have seen Monk than I am.
I just know that he's a detective with OCD.
Yeah.
That's all I know about Monk.
It's weird that also got like TV movies to keep that show going. Not as many as
Well,
Psych, but
I was gonna say, didn't Psych get a few?
Psych has 3, and they're threatening us with 3 more.
Okay.
I would have mind more.
I wouldn't mind more because I don't hate the movies, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, this actor's like 50, but we're pretending like it's only been a couple years since the show ended.
It's fine.
Stay tuned for our new channel, Haven of Monk. We're gonna start that tomorrow.
Haven of Procedurals.
Yeah.
I'll pick Castle,
Lord.
Robert will pick Psych, and Noah picks Monk, and we'll just go through all 3 shows.
I'll pick The Wire, even though that's technically
That's not a procedural, you fraud.
No, but it's better.
I'm sure
than
there are
most.
proceedings in it.
No, Monk.
about
No,
cops.
The Wire is dumb. Bad show.
It's better than most procedurals.
Let's say that.
That's probably true. Let me touch your hand.
King Flanagan also mentions that another really underrated adaptation is that Dolores.
Dolores Claiborne.
Yes,
Yeah.
which I really want to see because I didn't even know they adapted that until recently. And Noah, I don't know if you have you heard of this.
No.
That is, and Robert, correct me if I'm wrong. That is also Kathy Bates
Yes.
Oh,
After
okay.
Misery.
and another King adaptation, but not a. That's not a horror story, I don't think.
No, that's a draw. That is a heavy drama.
Yeah.
That is a sad movie. With back to the Stephen King shared universe. Remember how there's like an eclipse referenced in Gerald's game?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
like part of the backstory.
That's part of
That eclipse is also part of Dolores Claiborne.
Oh.
okay.
Little fun fact there.
The most random one is that Anthony Hopkins movie Hearts of Atlantis.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know about the movie, but the book is loaded with Dark Tower references.
Oh wow. There's so much. There's a lot of things that I've heard of and probably didn't even know were Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah. Well, especially the more drama driven ones because that's not what you think of.
Yeah, because I didn't know that Shawshank was one for a long time.
Yeah.
But
Here we have the deleted finale of the West Wing. This is how the show ends.
The secret ending. I will say, this prop is really goofy.
It's the
It
future, Robert.
looks- it's a bit much for this movie. Like,
Noah, this is the one place where you can say it's Star Trek-y without me making fun of you because that looks like a Star Trek prop.
It does look like a Star Trek thing.
well, I was thinking of Videodrome just because I have Cronenberg on the brain, but I was like, yeah, this prop you could see in that somewhere. The weird technology.
All of this is really vague too because they don't say what exactly is happening other than he's launching
Launching
some
nukes.
sort of missile strike and
The nukes are gonna land.
He's fulfilling his destiny.
possibly the start of World War III. But either way, it's bad, and we got to stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert, you think that he's seeing the same thing that Walken
That
is
was
seeing in this?
my read on it, because I don't think that performance is just, oh, this guy's holding my hand. That's weird. It's like they have a very specific eye contact, and then he's like looking back on him, like
Interesting, yeah.
the fuck, like. Did you see that? I don't know. But again, I could be incorrect. That's just my
I mean,
interpretation.
I didn't pick up on that, but yeah, no, that's interesting. Because I just thought it was like, oh, this guy's weird, but I wasn't paying too much attention to the look that he had. There is kind of like a look of like, oh, he knows what's going on.
He knows what I'm planning.
He's on to me. Yeah.
I forgot
Then
there's.
there could be a non-supernatural explanation for that.
Sure.
I forgot there's a Dreamcatcher adaptation
Yeah.
directed by Lawrence Kasdan.
I also forgot until my last rewatch of this, like how late in the movie it is when Walken's character figures out, like, oh, I can change the future. It's not just predestined.
Which
stuff
is
or
weird
something
because
happening current.
he's figuring it out
First thing
here,
he
right?
does.
But that's happening at the same time. Like, it is
But
different.
but he's figuring it out here, right?
Right at this
Yes.
scene.
But he
Yeah,
just saved that kid from drowning a scene ago.
Yeah.
So he's already
Well, they-
done that.
Well,
They're
but
talking.
he's talking to a character about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's explaining to his doctor friend what happened.
I mean, I would have to see. I don't remember how it plays in the book, but that does feel late. Like, surely that's one of the first things you figure out is if you see something, you can change it.
But I guess in his defense, like, there haven't been a lot of future premonitions up to this point. Everything he was seeing earlier was either happening concurrently or was in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I'd argue though the first thing is still changing the future
Sure.
because
Yeah.
there is a timeline where he does nothing
Mhm.
with that vision, and then that girl is dead.
But it's funny because I feel like I read a summary of this movie somewhere where it's like after a horrible accident, Johnny figures out he gets these powers and he can change the future and he has to stop an evil president, something like that. And like you're skipping a lot of the movie for that summary.
Well, some other stuff happens.
Yeah, and this is a great scene, but again, like I can see the 10-minute Mike Flanagan monologue version of this scene.
Correct.
Like this is a conversation that gets to the gist of it, and the Mike Flanagan one is like, now we're gonna sit with this for a while.
Yeah. And that
I don't
guy,
even
of
think
course,
it's rushed.
Of course, he's just like, well, I killed the son.
Well, no, this isn't Rush. This is the Dead Zone.
Oh. But
Rush
yeah,
is a
he
different
is.
thing.
He is very like, okay, I guess I gotta kill this guy.
Pulls out a gun.
Well, what I like about it is it's not what he ends up doing.
Well, sure. He tries to.
Yeah.
No, I like the ending a lot.
No, I mean, I know that he tries to, but I like that he doesn't succeed, but he wins in a
Mhm.
better way.
He wins differently. Well, yeah. It's really Martin Sheen's own downfall.
Which I think fits better for the commentary. And I don't remember if that how the book is, but I think at the end of the day he dies either way.
And I saw an interview with Cronenberg talking about this, how he thought it was interesting. Keep in mind when this was made, to having your protagonist be someone who attempts to be an assassin, specifically a political assassination, which especially when King is writing this, I'm sure was on his mind. It's something that was going on a lot, and Cronenberg thought it was interesting to make like that type of character your protagonist. And he said like the biggest hurdle of the movie was making this guy as sympathetic and three-dimensional as possible to get the audience with him to this point. And he's not commenting on like anything or specifically. He's just saying for this story, he's like, really I have a lot of. It's really challenging to make this character likable. Who's gonna do this horrible thing? But that's the benefit of making a fantasy movie with superpowers, where it's like, oh no, his visions are legit, real, and this guy's totally gonna nuke the world. So yeah, go for it.
Well, because this basic plot is also just like a dime a dozen thriller, where like somebody's convinced that something's gonna happen, and they have to kill someone to make it happen. Mm-hmm. This takes that and flips it on its head. What if the assassin is right?
Yeah.
And he isn't a crazy person. He's just a guy. He's just Christopher Walken.
Yeah, and part of the tragedy of it is that he is tanking his own reputation and status. Like he's like, oh, I'm this is what I'm gonna be remembered for if I succeed, or not. Like that is this horrible thing I did, and I think that's interesting.
Yes.
And tragic.
That's why I think it's important that the guy's downfall is his own. Because if he just killed him, it would have turned that guy into a martyr.
Yeah. And not that the story really gets into that, but I completely agree.
So you guys were saying in the show this ending is shown as a vision, but not a definitive.
That's all Robert.
thing.
Yeah, that's just a blurb I read. Is like this
Okay.
is referenced.
No, I was too young when that show came out, and I thought it looked really dumb, so I never watched it.
Like, this is dumb.
I want to
But
watch
Pat
Ben
wrote
10,
this.
not the Dead Zone.
Also, this is the type of plot line that is going to be harder to adapt in 2025 because it is really easy how he isn't caught.
I just make it a period piece.
Yeah, I totally.
That's something I hate about a lot of King adaptations now, is we just have to set it in the year we're making it. Just make a period piece. I'm really hoping that Carrie show isn't modern day Carrie.
I think it could be. Well, we'll see.
It could be. I don't want that.
I'm fine with that.
I do like though that our protagonist isn't suddenly like an expert marksman. That like he doesn't really know what he's
Yeah.
doing, and he's gonna
fiddling
fuck this
around.
up.
This would be a fascinating double feature with Videodrome.
Sure.
I think this would be. Oh, we lost John. I think this would be a cool double feature with The Fly.
Why the Fly?
Do it all.
Because
They're
they're both
tragic love
tragic
stories.
characters. Yeah,
Yeah.
love stories.
Yeah, they both end with our lady protagonist crying over the death of her lover.
Yes.
Like they both end on the same note.
That I was.
Yeah,
I
but
was
I mean,
gonna
I would
point
argue
out.
that this has more thematically in common with Videodrome.
Yeah, I think there's similarities in both. And like I mentioned earlier, it's this and The Fly. You have a protagonist with a terminal illness, and that's interesting.
Well, what this movie really needs is him to put that rifle in his stomach and let it marinate.
Yeah.
I think Noah's died.
No, I'm here.
My camera won't turn on.
I was gonna say, what happened to your camera?
I don't
It's in
know.
the dead zone.
It is in the dead zone.
Do either of you know if they do the politician stuff in the show, or it just has a
Okay.
different ending?
That's what I'm not sure about. Like this might have been like the season 2 finale or something, and it just has a different outcome.
Yeah.
But I think still since
I'll have to look into
in
that.
the show.
Is it too convenient that his love interest is here? Is my question.
At least we set it up, and that brings me to the big change I'm aware of. Is it is not her baby in the book. It's just a random baby with the lady in the crowd that he grabs.
Mm.
So I don't think her character is present for the sequence in the book, but for the movie, I think this change is fine.
Yeah, so this was insane.
Every time I watch this, the scene is hilarious.
I
but
was
it's
like,
amazing.
holy shit, I was not expecting Martin Sheen to try to use a baby as a shield.
I mean, wouldn't you in this situation?
Well, we know what Robert would do.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Listen, just because you hate kids doesn't mean you have to.
Robert's like, I'd do it, and I'd hope it's Justin
I mean,
from Power Rangers Turbo.
Everybody knows the way to outrun a bear is to just throw the baby at it, and you're good. Like
Well,
all
that's
know
gonna be a YouTube short.
That's gonna be a short. We're clipping that.
You're welcome. I love this line though, where he's like, "Who sent you?"
Yeah. Well, that's why I think that
Yeah.
there might be people that are on to what he's planning.
Mhm.
This is also really fucked up. Yeah, like the whole ending of this movie is insane.
And I love how minimalist that shot is. Like that looks like
Yeah.
a stage play. It's
But it's
just
so
he's in this
effective.
black void. Yeah,
And then just the
him,
blood
the
splatter.
lamp.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Finished. Where's that kid with the camera? He's taking pictures.
And you
That
get the
kid.
idea that his number one guy here is also not. Once he
Yeah,
saw him
he's
use a
not
kid
pure
as a
evil.
shield, he's done with him.
I love this reaction. Just it's so genuine and heartbreaking.
Yes. Yeah, and in the book, there's this whole epilogue of her going to visit his grave that they even shot for the movie, but they ultimately cut it out because they just didn't think it needed it. And I think that was the right call since you have this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is all the closure you need. It's tragic. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, but like you called out just a second ago, Robert, this ending was the big thing that reminded me of the Fly ending because
Mhm.
it's almost exactly the same down to the harsh cut to credits
Yes.
mid death. Like, and I love that choice because it's so effective in the Fly.
Yeah, just the
It's
movie's
really
over.
hard to do.
And The Fly being a remake of like a 50s B movie or an old horror movie, and those always end abruptly. It just works so well for Cronenberg's vision where it's like, yep, movie's over.
Yep.
Go home.
I
We're done.
I will say I don't hate. I like the way this movie ends. I wouldn't have complained if we'd gotten that little epilogue.
Mhm.
Just another few minutes with these characters. But I like that shows that it doesn't just affect him; it affects her. Arguably her marriage, because how's her husband going to react to her comforting the guy that just tried to kill someone?
Yeah, it's fucked up. Last thing I'll mention on the show is Greg Stolson is in the show, played by Sean Patrick Flannery. That's interesting.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Weird.
One of the Boondock Saints, but he's listed as a recurring character, not a main cast member.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's the Dead Zone.
Cool.
It's good.
Good Christmas movie.
I don't love it, but it's solid.
I like it a lot. I think that ending is brilliant in how it kind of subverts the ending of he just kills the bad guy and wins. It's no, he gives his life to discredit the bad guy.
Uh-huh.
And obviously,
Yeah, I think
it's
that
not
was
some
perfect.
6-dimensional chess, but like
Mhm.
I think that is a more clever way of ending it. Noah, anything else you would like to say about the Dead Zone?
Are you glad John made you watch it?
I am glad John made me watch it because it's a good Stephen King movie. I'd like to read the source material sometime.
Read The Shining first.
I do need to finish The Shining.
If you're watching after the fact, we appreciate it. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.